What's up, children of the Rainbow Corn? It's your girl, Christina Storm, the hostess that does the most, baby. Yes, we are back this week, Wednesday, with Reflections Season 1, Episode 5. Now, last week we talked about forgiveness. That was one of a very big lesson for me. But another big lesson for me was trusting the process. Trusting the process has always been one of the biggest problems that I had outside of forgiveness. I'm gonna say that was probably it was number one. It definitely was number one because I used to get so upset when I didn't get something or if things ain't go my way, and I had to realize. I'm not gonna say I had to realize, but as I gotten older and gone through more things that were traumatic, I realized that everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to get to a point to. So that's why today's episode is trusting the process. The definition of trusting the process is completely not knowing what is unfolding in front of your eyes or just unfolding in general in the universe and why. But to simply just accept it and to live in the moment. Let me say that again. Completely not knowing what is unfolding and why it's unfolding the way that it is, and just simply trusting what's going to happen is going to happen, and being in the moment and learning whatever you have to learn and taking in whatever you have to take in. My personal definition of that is just going with the flow. Like, you don't know why you know what I'm saying, like, say someone leaves out your life, or you just going through so much with somebody and you're trying to figure out why, because you're doing everything good, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing that you're doing wrong. Well, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it's just not meant to be, you know what I'm saying, or like you put yourself into a project, and for instance, like I had a situation the past couple of weeks with Loose Rap where I know how to edit now. I'm not a pro at it, but I do know how to edit. I know how to add things. I know how to do things. And I wanted so much to, before episode 3, I wanted to so much the first episode to show you what I had. And it was getting to me. And I was like, yo, why this shit ain't working? You know what I'm saying? Why is it not doing what it needs to do? Because at the end of the day, I do know what I'm doing. That was the whole point of me taking that hiatus for a couple of months, to learn what I can learn about editing as much as I possibly can, to the point where I don't have to worry about nobody right now. I would love to have somebody I just record it and have somebody edit it, and I tell them what I want in it, or send them what I want in it, and all the things. But it's just me right now, so I had to learn what I could learn, and you know what I'm saying. But it was just the editing just ain't click. Like, I don't know, the Wi-Fi wasn't trying to come on. I was trying to make sure that I did shows on time, and I realized that maybe, bitch, that you it don't need to happen that way. Maybe it's a reason why it's a reason why this should happen. Let me say that. And now that I think about it, I'm glad it did happen like this, because it made me rethink my schedule, for one, because editing takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and you have to be very detailed when you're editing these videos. You may not be a pro at it, but if you learn just the basics and learn some things, you'll understand what I'm saying. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes you be editing so much, or you be editing and the time flies so fast where you be like, yo, I forgot to do this, or I didn't do this, you know. But that's a definition for me, in like a experience of mine where I had to trust the process. Like, now I understand. The show that I did recently for Loose Rap, please go and check out Loose Rap episode 3. But not only that, go back and check season 1 of all the episodes that I did prior, and just enjoy and laugh and have a good time. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe. But yeah, it was you just had to get to a point where you be like, okay, well, shit, this is coming. I already know this shit coming. So it is what it is. Now, how to trust the process, or tools to trust the process of what's going on in the universe and within your bubble. I don't know if I fully learned that yet, but what I will say is that I learned to pay attention to signs. For me, I have this rule of three where it comes in levels for me. When something big, positive, or good, or something that I really want is coming my way, and the universe is letting me know that it's coming my way, but bitch, you gotta go through these motherfucking trials and tribulations to get it. 9 times out of 10, it comes in three. And usually, it's like, how can I say it? It's in steps, because I have this negative thing I have this small negative thing, and I had this low level negative thing. I had this mid level negative thing, and then I have this big ass negative thing just happen, or bad thing that happens to me. And 9 times out of 10, it's something that big thing, that small thing is something that I can get rid of real quick. But it does kind of like trip me up a little bit, but I catch myself. The medium thing is usually something that I trip up and I'm almost falling, or I did fall like to a knee, but I'm still there. But that last thing, it seems to always fuck me up, and it puts me in a situation where I have to choose. Do I still want to push forward because this is something that I really want, or do I want to let it go? And a lot of times, when you're working towards something, especially if you're making big boss moves and you're trying to better your life, you can't allow the biggest thing to take you down. Shit, you can't even allow the little thing to take you down, because you let that little thing take you down, you guaranteed to let the big thing when it comes, because the shit ain't gonna stop. Just because you let that little thing break you down, you're gonna go through them other levels and you're gonna hit rock bottom. It just is what it is. That's the process. You know what I'm saying? If you allow yourself to let that little thing that you could have just fixed real quick tear you apart, when that mid-level thing comes, it's going to take another part of you. And then when the middle thing's over, you may have a little break in between, but because you so fucked up from the small thing, now you fucked up about the middle thing. When that big thing comes, you're not even gonna know that it's coming. It's gonna tear you. It's gonna tear everything apart, and then you're gonna have to start from square one. So when I say that to say this, when you notice that's called, I call it the rule of three. When you notice the rule of three going on in your life, and you like, damn. This week, this thing happened. It may have been small, I got over it, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Next week, something happened over. It sometimes only be weeks, sometimes it be days apart, hours apart, depending on how big the good thing or the positive thing that's coming your way is. And you'll sit there and be like, yo, what the... But you have to trust the process. The reason why you're going through the rule of three is because of the fact that you are maturing. You're leveling up. And when you level up, you got to go through shit. But you also got to go through shit to keep it. So you're going to go through another process of rule of three again, because now you got the thing. But you have to keep it. You have to show that you really want it. Because just because I gave it to the universe says that I gave it to you does not mean that you deserve it. Now, do you really deserve it? So now that you went through the rule of three just to get it and to show me that you was making moves, I need you to, now that you got it in your grasp and it's yours, I need to see how bad you want to keep it. So then you're going to go through a whole nother set of three things. And once you go through that with that thing or person, 9 times out of 10 is yours. You know what I'm saying? But you go through hell to get it and to keep it. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's one. And then I say there's another way to do it is just realize you honestly have no control. You have no control. You have no control over anything. Your book is already written. Your book, the universe has everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to live. Not all of it is, not everyone's story is easy, not every story is fun, not every story is glitz and glamour, not every story ends in a happy ending. But everybody has a story, and that's what it means to trust the process. Is trust your story. Trust that your story is being written the way that it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? In a quote that I personally I keep and I hold dear to, and I hold very close to my heart, is a quote that I gotten from a child's movie. It was a kid's movie, but I love cartoons. I always had. Pixar's Kung Fu Panda, not one. I mean, not two, not three, but the original Kung Fu Panda, when Po actually learns that he's the Dragon Master. Um, and the quote, it came from Uguay, the deceased master, where he visited Poe, and he realized Poe wasn't happy about the situation with him, and the fact that he wasn't learning anything from his master, and he was trying. And Uguay told him this: yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Why this relates to trusting the process? Because yesterday you already went through it. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that you can do, and it ain't no way to go back. And trust and believe, if it was a way to go back in time and change a lot of shit, especially this year, oh, trust and believe, I would have did it. I would have been did it. Trust and believe, it was so much shit that happened this year. Not as much as the year where I got put in the hospital and the years after that. But this year, as far as, especially because I had so many big moves that I was making this year, I definitely will go back and change some things if I could. I'm not even going to front on that. I definitely will go back and change some things if I could. But that's what yesterday is history. I mean, don't give a fuck about it. I mean, it happened. Tomorrow is a mystery. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You can have all the plans that you want. You can plan your day minute by minute if you want to. So, anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You just know that you have a book that was written specifically for your life to place things in. That's it. So you just have to. But the biggest thing that always resonates with me is that today is a gift. And that is why it's called present. That is God honest truth. Every day that you wake up is a gift. But not only is it a gift, but it's another chance to make things better, make your life better, do something good, do something positive, make a positive, have a positive impact in somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Make positivity and positive energy move in this universe. And this whole quote, that's when I started to learn. When I've heard this quote, this is when I started to learn how to trust the process, because I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? Especially, prime example, me being trans, I was wanting to do everything to be as fishy as possible. And if you don't know what fishy is, even though I'm getting off topic, fishy is when you look like a female and the world sees you as nothing but tuna walking, a little mermaid walking down the street like real pussy. You know what I'm saying? Where you a natural born pussy. And that was my thing. And I was doing when I say anything, I was taking double hormones. I was popping pills. I was popping hormone pills. I was doing the shots. I was doing everything. But in the end, I still was looking the same. It wasn't until I realized that my journey with this is different from everybody else's. Excuse the noise. I forgot to cut my phone off. But my journey is different from everybody's, and everybody's journey is different. And even though I heard it, it didn't sink in. It didn't sink in with me because I was so used to seeing these badass transsexual women that looked like video vixens, and they was just so beautiful to me. And I'm like, but when is it my turn? And I realized that everybody ain't meant to look like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, and then too, you gotta have the coinage. Cause shit, trust me, if I had the coinage, I'd be walking around with Buffy the Body, cause that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that nobody else told me that I need, but it's certain things that I want as a woman, not only as a trans woman, but as a woman that I want. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn to trust the process. Like I had to realize that, especially with me having certain health issues, I had to realize that my process may actually be slower than others because I have to worry about that health issue on top of taking hormones, because hormones can become very dangerous if it's not in check if it's not taken in check properly, and my levels aren't being checked on a regular. So I really just had to get to a point with myself where I loved on myself, and that's where I get to the quotes to remember. Quote number 1: in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shape you. And this quote came from Andrea Dykstra. I think I just said it right. Andrea Dykstra. And I'm gonna say it again. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. And that is so true. And that's what I was doing when I first started transitioning. I was hating the experience. I was not taking everything in. I wasn't taking in the fact that, wow, I'm actually in the process. And this may be a part of the major process of trusting the process, but I'm in one of the processes that lead to the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn to love myself all over again, because I'm like, I hate the way I look. I don't look like I want to look. All of these things, like it was like living honestly, is living my authentic self that I have never been able to do. And now that I'm able to do it, I'm going through this whole growing period again. Like I'm starting off a newborn again. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going through a whole nother puberty again. Let's be honest. I went through a whole nother puberty. I had to find who I was as a woman, and who I've always been. And it was very hard. It was very hard because a lot of times I wanted to give up. And that was not me trusting the process. Me trusting the process would have been like, okay, this shit is happening. And yeah, the rule of 3 is in effect. But I just would allow the rule of 3 just to take me down almost every time. Like I would get to a point where I was like, fuck the rule of 3. I got this. And then another rule of 3 would come, and it would just shut me down, and I'd be like, yo, I can't. I researched it and I can't. No, I looked into it and I can't. So yeah, I got that from Lexi. Just shout outs to Lexi. But that's what it was. That's why this quote kind of relates to my life. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Meaning that I could not want or not deal with or not accept that my process as being trans and going through the trans experience was different from a lot of other people. Quote number 2: you cannot cheat the grind and knows how it knows. I'm sorry. You cannot cheat the grind. It knows how much you have invested, and it won't give you anything you haven't worked for. I'm gonna repeat that again because I did stumble on it. But also, it's so hood. It's so raw. You know what I'm saying? You cannot cheat the grind. It knows how much you have invested, and it won't give you anything you haven't worked for. That is just real shit. Just straight street to me. Like, you can't, the whole point of the process is trusting the process is to get something that you want, or to achieve a level of success, or achieve an inner peace within yourself. And the only way to do that is to put in the work. That's the only way the process is going to keep flowing and allowing you to get closer to what you want and the things that you deserve. For example, this show, this show and Loose Rock, especially Loose Rock, Loose Rock gave me so many problems this season, and not because, and I don't even think, I don't even believe, I can't blame it on the show itself. I blame it, I can't even blame it on anything because it's a part of my process. But I learned, I took a hiatus. As anybody that's been following me since before Reflection, that I took a hiatus for like 2 or 3 months where I wanted to learn how to edit shows as much as I possibly could, being a beginner of editing shows, because I never edited anything. You know what I'm saying? I never edited, and when I say anything, anything at all. And I had to take that time. Like, I went on YouTube, I read things on the internet, and I just took that time for myself. So I just knew when season 2 of Loose Rock came that I was gonna be ready. That shit was gonna be on point. And every episode up until episode 3 was crazy. Even the internet wasn't working right, and I'm like, yo, I literally paid my internet on time, my cable and internet and everything else on time. And if it's not on time, it's usually a couple of days apart, but the shit be paid. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that didn't work right for me. Then the video, the sound from the video wasn't right. It was all from the show, and I started noticing that, and people started telling me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Even when I tried to edit, I had the perfect show, each show up until the 3rd show that just aired, and I had to not post. I couldn't stream the show, the show that I wanted to stream. And I realized, Christina, you are not trusting what needs to happen go down. You may be upset that you didn't put like 5 hours, you didn't put like 3 to 4 hours into editing this show, but it is what it is, honey. Like, you can't control what's meant to happen. And I'm sitting there like, yo, when is this gonna work? Because when I say I had some very good shows, I had a lot of nice edits in the first 2 episodes. I was sitting here, I got myself so frustrated at one point where I started crying. And that's when it clicked to me that I wasn't trusting the process. Like, this is supposed to happen, Christina. You're supposed to allow this to happen. You're supposed to be sitting here crying right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you worked your butt off for, but you also, it's something else that you need to understand. You something else that you need to realize, and so you need to wake up and realize again, you don't have no control over this shit. You can learn as much as you want to learn. I could be a fucking pro at it. If the shit ain't gonna work, it's just not gonna work. It is what it is. The universe said, bitch, this shit need to fall back a couple of notches for a little while. Just for a little while. It's not gonna last forever, but just for a little while. And lo and behold, when I started, I was like, just here you go. You know what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't what I felt was my best work, or what I could put in totally into it, I just had to let it flow and let it go. You know, so I want to say this also when it comes down to trusting the process. Sometimes, and this goes for people, when you're dealing with people, sometimes we hold on to people that we just don't need in our lives. And it's because, and it's one of the hardest things, especially if it's a spouse or it's family. And when I say family, I'm talking about blood-related people, where you try to hold on to them. You try to keep that relationship. And especially when it comes down to family, your blood, that's not going to stop. But you can't make something happen with them, or you can't keep on allowing them to take you to a point where you keep running into the rule of 3 multiple times and more times than what you need to. And a lot of times when people are in your life that need to go away, they're giving you big ass signs that this motherfucker just is not meant to go with you to this place, or go with you in that journey. And that is the process or the universe, you know what I'm saying like, yo, this motherfucker ain't no good, let him go. Prime example, I had my boyfriend and his cousin had came, my boyfriend stays with me, and his cousin came stay with me for a little while. And I realized that my boyfriend was changing a little bit, and not to the point where like it was like affecting our relationship, but it was just like he was doing things that I wasn't used to him saying. You know what I'm saying? He was showing a side of him that I honestly haven't seen in a long time, except for in the beginning. And I realized that also this particular person was not all the way there when, and I ain't gonna say all the way, I'm just gonna say it like it is. That person was not there when he got locked up. And the only time he came was when he came home. And with conversations had with my boyfriend, I realized like this ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And he only comes around when it's beneficial for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, have you not paid attention to that? When you was younger, when he was snitching, do things or whatever, did you not pay attention to that? Like that's a part of the process or the universe telling you that, like, everything bad every time you get around this person, something, it may not be real bad, it may be the low level of the rule of three that happens with this person, but you don't see that. Like this is a routine. That's you trusting the process. Like the universe ain't showing you this shit just because, you know what I'm saying? So he wasn't trusting the process. Now he understands what I was saying, and I think at first he probably thought that I was just saying it because I didn't want him around him for no reason at all. That's your family. At the end of the day, that's always gonna be your family. I don't ever want to come in between anybody's family because I don't want nobody coming in between mine. But I do know this much: everybody in your family is not for you. It's just a God on the truth. Some of your biggest haters is in your family, and some of the biggest people that fuck up your story or try to mess up the story that was meant for you, or add or always are a part of that rule of three that I talked about, are the ones that the universe is telling you that you have to get rid of this person, or you have to get rid of this thing, or else your process is you're gonna be stuck in the middle of your process. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I noticed that a lot of people are not subscribed to to Loose Rap, the main page channel of Loose Rap, and I definitely would love y'all to subscribe. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, and please share. I do these shows not only for myself but for you all, especially Reflections, because I think that this show is more relatable and you can relate to me more with Reflection than you could with Loose Rap. Loose Rap, I have that's just me unfiltered, like me giving it all that I got and just telling it like it is. But Reflections is more of a calm side. That's where the Libra scales come in. The Reflections is the calmer side of me, and then Loose Rap is the side of me that you just get the unfiltered, I don't give a fuck type of attitude me. And that's what you get. So I thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all for sticking in with Reflections and actually, watching it. And hopefully you're learning something from this. If hopefully you're taking these lessons and applying them to your life. I want to thank you all again. I am Christina Storm, your hostess that does the mostest. And if you want to actually submit topics for Reflections, please you can go to @LooseRap on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to @LooseRap show on TikTok, and you also can go to our email, which is looserapllc@gmail.com. And we also have looserapllc@icloud.com. I mostly be on the Gmail, but you can send me messages on iCloud. I'm getting used to being on multiple platforms and having multiple emails because I'm not used to having all these daggone multiple platforms. Like we're working on first we're gonna try to perfect TikTok, but we do want to we are working on getting Snapchat and Twitter. But my main thing is making sure I perfect the first couple of platforms that I have for you all so that I know how to handle these other ones. So I thank you all. I love you all and hope you enjoy the show. And I will see you next time. Bye, children of the rainbow corn.